Hello everybody and welcome to a vlog. First things first, thank you Rowan for getting me this. It's Codsworth. I thought it was Mr. Handy and then I actually read what the name was. It's Codsworth. Same thing really, but here. I'll put this up somewhere in the background. I've been fiddling around with trying to place him somewhere in the background, but he's too small so you can't really see him very well. Like Mal there. Yeah, there. But I put him next to it, but it's too hard to sort of see him because of his size and how far away that is. But yeah, I'll leave him there. I'll figure out somewhere to put him. So basically, the main thing is partly actually Mass Effect, and is the thing that why I've wanted to continue it, but I haven't. I don't know why I haven't been continuing it. But basically, with Mass Effect, it's I wanted to keep playing it because of the character that Sarah. I did originally, like, this is the thing, when I started doing Mass Effect, when it first came out, I had an idea on what kind of character I wanted when I found out they were making a new one. And then, I'm going to move that out of the way, because I just realised that. I then thought, like, but then when the game came out, I had no clue how the new conversation system worked. And once I got the hang of it, then I was actually able to start doing it. So I sort of I was trying to choose the options that sounded the way I wanted a character to be, which was technically closed off and sort of mean, a bit like Mal, I suppose. But yeah, like, it didn't seem to make that much sense. All the conversation options seemed to be friendly and nice, and I didn't know how to do it. Then, so at the start, she seemed a bit more sarcastic and sort of lighthearted, and it's like, that's not what I want. But only recently have I actually been starting, because as I went on and I played in my free time and I found out the decisions that had to be made and things like that, I then started going, okay, right, what would the decisions she would make be? And I started piecing together all the decisions and making all the things, and I wanted to then, and I was actually starting to be able to make her into a way, and then there was a thing with the crew, and she sort of developed partly through the game and then partly how I wanted her to develop, and then sort of what just happened in between that, which was stuff like her actually opening up more to her crew and people who know her more closely than people who she like just meets, and like Tan and those people. So I quite liked the way that she would be more open to them, and how I would choose, for instance, more calm or emotional options, or more side with them than the other one, which is more self-gain and not self-gain, not really focused on self-gain, but you know, because I was thinking of PB's secret project thing, because I've done that not too long ago, so I sort of know how that goes on. But yeah, and then with her, and then trying to figure out how those conversations would go, and once they become properly loyal, how sort of everything happens. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish it like that. Because, to be honest, I would have liked it if they kept making updates, and if they made more DLCs and things like that, I would then definitely have been working harder to finish the game, so that I would have finished the game so I could do the DLCs. But it's because they decided not to finish it. I know technically there was the graphics and the story wasn't great, but I think towards the end, it got better. But I still think the characters were really good. I love that about Mass Effect. The characters are really good, but also the way the gameplay works. Like, I like the new combat system and the way that works, because I actually played Mass Effect 2 with then like an engineer option. No, I chose a different one. I can't remember which one it was now. But I chose one and I couldn't get past a point. I didn't have the right skill set at that time to get through, and then I couldn't back out because I deleted the saves before that or something like that, and I couldn't back out of the mission. And I kept failing. And I didn't want to go combat because I wanted to have the ability to have like the biotic weapon. Well, not weapons, but you know, the biotic abilities. And so I like the new combat system. I liked the characters, and I think if they are to do another Mass Effect game, because they've done Mass Effect Andromeda instead of Mass Effect 5, I think then they could do Mass Effect Andromeda 2, and instead just move it to another cluster, because I feel like also, for an entire cluster, I have no clue how big it was, fair enough, but it was big, considering how there was a black hole not too far away from it. So it was pretty big, but there was only like 2 species in the entire that cluster. So I really feel like if they go to another cluster to have more aliens, like new aliens, and to be honest, just bring in a few other species, I think, from the older Mass Effect games, because I don't know actually all of the species names. I know like the main species, like the Krogan, the Solarians, the Asaris, and the Turians, and then obviously the humans. But then like there's the species that Thane was, the one, and like the other sort of species which didn't come through. Like if you think about it, it would be brilliant for, I cannot remember what their name is. I was meant to play Mass Effect 2 today, so I would have learnt them, but my Xbox has no time on it. So yeah, but I think that like that species that wore, I'm trying to remember her name. I even saw it today. I can't remember. She was like the engineer in Mass Effect 2, I think. But like, you know, they have to wear the spacesuits all the time. I want to say it's like Tail, but it's not Tail. I can't remember. Oh, that's gonna really annoy me. But yeah, her species. I really quite. I think that they could have gone there, and then they could have. I think that was actually their arc that was meant to be coming at the. If I had finished the game, there's a thing where they're like, oh yeah, we're receiving a signal from basically another arc. I think, yeah, it's the one arc that didn't make it because the Krogans didn't have an arc. There was Turian, Asari, and human arc. Yeah. Wait. I feel like the human, the Turian, Solarian, and the Asari arc. That should be 4. Okay, I'm confused. But yeah. I need to play Mass Effect again at some point. I love the game, but I just didn't play Mass Effect much anymore. So yeah. So I would have liked to have obviously continued, and if they do another Mass Effect game, like a Mass Effect Andromeda 2, which I hope they do, and actually get the graphics sorted, and also have a good story, I think everything else would work fine. If they keep everything else sort of the same, I would say obviously keep the same characters. There was nothing wrong with the characters. I had no problem with the characters. I like them all. Obviously the ship isn't massive, so they can't have that many people on there, but they could probably fit 1 or 2 more people in, like maybe 1 more person into the engineering, someone who maybe actually stays in the cargo bay, because they have that massive like escape pod. I don't know why that's even there. Get rid of that. But yeah, and then someone could almost, you know, they could maybe stay. I don't even know if it's cargo bay. I call it a cargo bay, but yeah, someone could almost like stay there, or just something like, you know. And I also liked how they moved around the ship. And the galaxy map and things like that, I think, were also quite clever. But it was really fun going around. And I like the customizations. I would say they'll add more customizations. Everyone else in like, all the NPCs seemed to have all these different types of clothing. And you had basically 3, or if you got like a pre-ordered version or whatever, you got 4. Which was basically... It's basically the same outfit, just with a slightly different look to it. So the short sleeve one is literally just the sleeves rolled up. The long sleeve one is the sleeves not rolled up. The jacket is just a leather jacket on top, or if you're a female, you get a scarf. And if you had pre-ordered it or something like that, you would have gotten a hoodie. And whilst they do make you look a little different each one, I think they should have actually focused on getting more looks into it. I think Mass Effect 3, I think, had quite a lot of casual looks to it, and I would like more sort of casual looks for the game. And yeah, but that's really all my problems. There was nothing, like, that's what I thought about it. I thought it was really good, apart from the beginning of the story wasn't great, and I don't think the graphics could be worked on a bit more. I think they're bearable now. I can definitely deal with the graphics now, but some stuff just shouldn't work. Like when it reaches out like that and his fingers are like, yeah, his fingers shouldn't be able to do that, and neither should his arm. His arm should not be able to get into that position. It was like a really weird sort of twisted around thing. It didn't look natural. I really think they should have worked on that. But yeah, I can't blame them, to be honest though. Now, that's the thing that I think also if they do it next time, don't change directors, like game directors like 6 times. I don't know how many times they changed it, but each one wanted a different look for the game and a different kind of story. So they were constantly remaking it, and that's what led to these problems. That, and also they changed their graphics card. So, yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all later. Bye.